Rise and shine, everybody. It's time to wake and bake with Craig Reed and Griff Martin.
Drum Roadie Show, podcast 234, Wake and Bake, The Morning Buzz, episode 111, action. Well, alrighty then, fellow slaves here on this fat, flat planet Earth. My name is Craig Reed, a.k.a. the Stone Roadie, also known as the world's most famous roadie ever since in the dawn of time, since the dinosaurs roamed this fat, flat Earth. And with me, as usual, my co-host, the rocket scientist, Griff Martin. So what the heck are we going to talk about on this October 18th, 2024 there, Griff?
We have all kinds of cool things we can talk about. First thing, though, I need to mention is I hope we make it through this podcast with my shitty internet that the hurricane messed up. And I can't get the cable people out to look at because they're so backed up. So if you see a bunch
Wheaties, the breakfast of champions.
If you see a bunch of freezing up and all of that stuff, that's just Griff's internet service screwing up again. And the last one was screwed up, and I had to do a bunch of editing just to make it visible. So anyway. And then Craig dropped a bombshell, said if Kamala Harris wins the election, he's going to take all the podcasts down because he don't want to go to jail, which might be a good idea because in communism, you can't talk about your leader. And we'll all be wearing one of these.
Yeah, after November the 5th, if she says I ain't going to do these no more. I'm gonna go to jail. I'm gonna become a hermit.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to find a cave to crawl in.
Yeah, it's gonna be hell.
But we have a bunch of comments on here, and well, hopefully Mr. T wins because the world's over if he loses anyway. So what difference does it make? Oh, there's that page I was looking for. Robert Wheatley, he's our new disciple, and I just wanted to plug his eBay. He's the guy who sent Craig and I a drone, and Craig's having a lot of fun with his. I have not yet had time to break mine out, but Robert Wheatley gets a lot of cool electronics like cell phones and cameras and at very affordable prices. So if you want to go check out Robert Wheatley's eBay page, it's Make It Easy to Buy Now on eBay, and also Easy to Save Money 2112 on eBay. And he also is going to donate a camera to the podcast. And I guess if we sell it on the podcast and make some money, he's going to donate that money. Isn't that right, Craig?
Yeah, it's one of them cool ones. He asked me if I was, well, actually, I was looking at some stuff on my drone, and they were advertising this cool camera that it's got, what do you call them things? A doggle, where you can move it, and then
Brian Bodkin had one at the
camera stays in it's handheld. They're really cool. And so he's been looking for me one, and he said he was going to send another one. And we could sell it, auction it off on the podcast and donate the money. I said, yeah, that sounds like a good idea. So, yeah, we're supposed to be getting that here next week, I guess. So, yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah, and then Jeff, and I've yet to remember his last name, is offering $50 on the Billy Powell jacket and patch, and the patch covers up the 2 Joe. that's on there. And so he's bidding $50 on that. We'd like to get more for it than that, but, we'll see what happens. So that's a bid on that. And didn't you say we're up to $200 on this book, Craig?
Yeah, $200.
So we're up to $200, and this book was donated by Brian Bodkin, our buddy, and he's the one that found Craig's picture in the hoarder house that he was cleaning out that we talked about last week.
Oh yeah, I got to make a comment about that my coins. I said once before that sometimes I think people understand what I'm saying, and sometimes I only tell half the story. And I said, yeah, I got those coins. And when me and Ronnie was gambling down in Las Vegas when we were there, I bought 6 rolls of them, 60 coins. And then a year later, I had them on the airplane when it went down, and people was questioning that, and why would he have all that stuff on the airplane? He's just trying to make money, and he didn't have that stuff on the airplane. That he just thinks that would make it valuable. But I've told that story a dozen times, and a dozen is 12 for some of you people out there that don't know what a dozen is. And I'm only being facetious when I say that, because I watch those podcasts where they ask women how many minutes are in a quarter of an hour, and they say 25, and and
Oh,
they
yeah.
yeah they say
Those little dingbat girls.
yeah, they say, yeah, what all kind of questions they ask them, and they don't know. So yeah, for anybody that doesn't know, a dozen is 12.
What about a baker's dozen?
Yeah, so anyway, yeah, I've explained that story a dozen times to where, and last week when I was telling the story about the coins and getting them in Las Vegas and having them on the plane, I didn't finish the rest of the story. That yeah, when I left on that tour, I was having a divorce, so anything that I wanted to keep, I took with me on tour, because we were going to play here in Cleveland, and I live near Cleveland, so when we were up here, I was just going to drop all my itineraries and passes and my coin collection and all that stuff off up here in Ohio, because I knew eventually I was going to end up here anyways. I just thought I'd bring it up here and drop it off rather than leave my stuff in Florida where it would get stolen by my future ex-wife to be that was moving out while I was gone, which is it's a good thing I did, because it would have sure come up missing. When I got back to my apartment after the plane crash, it was empty. Me and my mom had to sleep on the floor. There was nothing there. But there was a couple of things there I needed, but not much. So anyway, so that's the deal. That's why I had those coins with me on the airplane. I had everything that I owned, most everything that I wanted to keep with me on that airplane. When it crashed, because like I said, I was going to drop it off here where I'm at in Ohio right now. That's where I was going to drop it off. So yeah, I'm that's the story. That's the 13th time I've told that story at least.
And speaking of ex-wives, Craig's 4th ex-wife left a comment on the last podcast. And
that's the one that stole my dog.
Yeah, that's the dog napper. And I'll go ahead and read it, because you guys can read it. And so
I never even saw it.
Yeah, it says, "Hi, Craig. It's Beverly Reed." She's kind of like Priscilla Presley. She didn't want to change her last name from her famous husband.
Well, no,
So,
her last name. She's got a record 10 miles long with her real last name, so she kept mine to try to stay in hiding.
yeah, she says, Craig, I'm your ex-wife, number 4. Thought you might want to know that I got a breathtaking and beautiful breast and butt lift. I look and feel great. I would love to show you, but my new younger boyfriend would get very, very jealous. So is that Godsey lady your new girlfriend? Seems to be too smart and professional for you. Sorry, but you know that I am right. How is Chad these days? Carrie always asks about him. Who's Carrie, Greg?
Carrie's my stepdaughter. Carrie, yeah.
Oh, she has two kids now, and the boy is called Charles. Hey, I can't get your number from information. Please send it to me if you don't mind. Just want to say hi once in a while. Take care, kiddo. I miss you, and you know that I will always love you. Well, that was kind of nice.
Yeah. Next comment.
Well, at least you talk to yours. I don't talk to any of mine.
Oh, I don't talk to her either. I talked to her ex-husband, Charles. That's why she said Carrie named her kids Charles. It's her ex-husband. Yeah, Charles is cool. I talk to him occasionally. And Carrie calls me every now and then.
Well, you would call him your husband-in-law.
And, her and Chad do still stay in contact, Yeah. She was one of my stepdaughters. Had three of them.
Well, I just wanted to mention another thing is that Griff will not be at the monument this year because I was kicking it around trying to go. And when you're kind of on the fence, you put a list up of things on the left that are reasons you should go, and then things on the right are reasons you shouldn't go. And there were too many things on the right that I shouldn't go. Like I need new tires. I have a plug in one of my tires that I don't know if it's going to hold. Then you got this freaking election coming up, and that's kind of scaring me. And it's 12-hour drive, and I just got back from Oklahoma, and I'm just freaking too damn tired and not ready for it. So the other thing too is I've got two houses up in North Carolina that I sold, and I've got neighbors and friends up there, and they're right in Burnsville, North Carolina, where the flood happened, and I don't even know if those people are still alive. So if I'm going to make a trip, I'm going to make a trip up to my old neighborhood up there, and I think possibly my house is gone because there was a river in front of it, and that thing, whenever it gets a lot of rain, it comes pretty close to all of my neighbors' houses. Mine was up on a hill, so it's a possibility it's still there, but maybe not. And so my neighbors were cops, and being how they're cops, I'm hoping that there's going to be an easy way to find them, but I have yet to be able to find them. So I think I'm going to make a run up there and see what's going on here this next week, maybe.
Aren't they saying the reason that floated up there is because they opened that dam up?
There had to be something like that going on. I'm not buying it just rained a lot.
They opened that dam, I heard. That I saw them open the dam.
You don't get that much water rushing down all at once just because it's raining. I mean, something happened, but it's all going to come out. It'll all come out.
Well, it's awfully odd that they're hiding the amount of people that are dead there. They're saying,
oh yeah, I saw on Facebook where there was 2,000 body bags.
Oh, 10,000? That's what I heard. 10,000 body bags.
You heard that? I heard 2.
I heard 10,000 body bags. And,
wow.
And they'd found 1,000 people. Now they found another 1,000 people. And then I saw that one thing where they found a guy buried up to his shoulders or his neck or something, and he just said, "Just leave me here. I don't, my family's dead. I don't want to. I got nothing to live for." And they said, "Well, they might have survived." He goes, "No, they're under me, and they quit scratching my leg 3 days ago."
Mm-hmm.
So that's sad, man. But yeah, they're hiding the amount of. Why would they hide the amount of people that are dead down there? They must feel responsible. It's just awfully strange. All this stuff's going
Well,
on.
they want to be able to send all the money they can, over to other countries that need it more than we do, and they don't want to talk about their own citizens needing money.
No, anybody
So,
out there that support some people, you're freaking idiots, man. I mean, what the hell is wrong with you people? Can't you see? Can't you see what the Democrats been doing to me?
yeah, yeah, that's a perfect song for that.
Yeah, I mean, seriously.
So we'll just jump. You got anything, Craig, before we jump into these comments, or do you have
No,
something?
no,
No?
I have absolutely nothing. I
All
had to
righty
take care of a
then.
bunch of stuff here myself today. I had to deal with I have a septic tank. I had to go through an inspection for my septic tank.
Why?
Uh, It's in my front yard. It's in and it's leached up in my whole front yard and on my property, and I got to pay to have a septic tank in my own front yard, you know. And I have a well. Probably pretty soon they'll probably be wanting to put a meter on my
So they
well.
want you to hook up to the city water, and if you don't, you have to pay
Well,
a fee.
they're not saying this. I won't hook up to their city water, but they want me to hook up to the sewer. But I have a septic system that's functional. But they say, well, okay, but we're going to charge you to have a it's crazy. I mean,
Mm.
when we passed that lottery, we were supposed to do away with the property tax, and since that it's tripled. These people just lie, man. I mean, God. I mean, I don't know
Yeah.
how this country got to the point it is. I mean, people in this country just must be really freaking stupid. I mean, seriously.
Well,
To pay,
we're already
you can't
communists.
do anything without paying the fee, and
Yeah.
and I went to the store yesterday and I tried to buy some things that didn't have fructose and all that. You can't buy nothing. It's because you people will buy the Soylent Green. You don't care what you eat. You people will buy the Soylent Green, and people like me, it's like being in the old west. There's nothing to buy at the store. Because it's all poison. And it's not going to get any better because you people, you brainwashed idiots, will just keep buying this stuff. If you quit buying it, they'll quit making it and make it better. But it ain't gonna get
But
through to you people. You're addicted to that stuff. I
but
mean,
they don't
it's
know what to
sick.
buy because everything's poison.
Well, you just quit buying everything, but you can't do that because you're addicted to eating, and it's sickening, man. God Almighty, why don't you people wake up?
Well, I guess we could go to Walmart and get a slingshot and shoot a squirrel out of the tree and eat that.
I mean, you can't buy nothing at the store, and you people don't care that it's poison. You'll eat you. It's Soylent Green. Just it's sick, and I swear to God, I think all you freaking fat ass son of a bitches out there are freaking mentally ill, man. I swear I can't explain it any other way. You're all freaking mentally ill. Why would you want to be fat and obese? Nobody else used to be. You're all freaking brainwashed. My God. Wake the freak up.
Greg, it's the new style, man. Don't you
Oh,
understand
freaking
that
style. My
fat is where
God.
it's at?
Jesus, God. I was fat. I was disgusted with myself. Thing of it is, they say weight loss is $1 million industry. People are injecting their stuff with that Izempa to try to lose weight because they can't quit eating, and they're injecting their stuff with that shit that's really expensive. I mean, it's poison. It's killing you. You people are mentally ill, man. I swear to God, you freaking people are mentally ill.
Well, Craig, they just don't have time to be healthy, man.
Oh my God!
You know,
Oh,
they
I
got
saw
things
you
to
sent me
do.
that thing today of that colored woman eating that. They make it. They'll make a Big Mac out of anything you want
It's
to make
not a
Big Mac.
colored woman, Craig. It's a black woman.
Black woman, whatever. She had that triple Big Mac. She took a big old bite of that. She,
It was not a Big Mac.
oh, she
It was
was
a
like,
fish sandwich.
oh my God, oh my God, she was about to have a.
I tell you what I do
Oh
is I send stuff to Craig, and that's why he's all fired up. I send stuff to him, and he'll go,
God,
"Did you see that?" And I'll go, "Yeah, I'm the one who sent it to you."
God, my whole feed thing's just full of fat women. My God, and it's like my ex fourth big fat ex-wife that says, "Oh, you want to see my new body?" Yeah, I bet. And talk about her new boyfriend. Yeah, what happened to the last husband you got that was moving you to Rome? Your rich boyfriend or whatever.
Craig, she's
You're
watching
so
right
full.
now.
You're as full of shit as a Christmas turkey
She
in
still
no way,
loves
shape.
you, man. She's
Oh God.
she still loves you, man. She just
Yeah.
kidnapped your dog and threatened to kill him. That's all.
she, she said she's gonna cut my dog's throat. That bitch is insane. Yeah. She's one of you mentally ill.
Well, she wants to come back over and give it another shot.
She's fat and mentally ill, just like the rest of you people out there. I mean, I gained 80 pounds. It's easy to do, but
Well, there's Craig. There's
I
that
was
one
smart
guy.
enough to lose it.
There's
I
that
got
one
brain
guy.
damage. What the hell is you people out there's problem? I had brain damage, and I
Well,
figured,
Craig, there's that one guy who says you can go ahead and send his prize to him because he's not fat.
oh, I'm going to too. I'm going to send his out first.
Yeah. So anybody else out there that didn't get their prize yet, which is everybody, if you're not fat, send Craig a picture of yourself and you'll get it right away. All right, let's jump into the comments before we lose our monetization.
I don't give a shit.
And I got a little couple questions from TP, which TP, I don't usually go on Facebook and get questions off of Facebook, but being as how it's TP and she's so cool and she's always helping the podcast out. Like she hooked us up with Todd Howard, and that guy was a really great guest, and we love
Yeah, I hope
TP.
your Mustang is finally fixed. She was having a lot of. She got a really cool Mustang. She's having a lot of problems with it.
Yeah, yeah, that's right. She
Fun.
was. She couldn't get
Yeah,
parts for it or something, but
yeah, she was. Yeah, she was
so
having.
she asked Craig, are there any bands that you have regrets that you worked with? Any bands that you have regrets that you worked with?
Hell no! I only worked for Skinner, Journey, Foreigner. Rusty and Collins, Alan Collins, and
Yeah,
Marshall Tucker. No, I loved all them guys, man. They
yeah.
were all cool.
Did you like?
Like I said, Foreigner's going into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame this weekend.
Was there anybody in the band, any of the band members that you didn't get along with?
Foreigner?
Any of the bands,
No, no, I got along with all of them.
even though you was skating around with Sean Neal's guitar and you had roller skates on and you were skating all around holding his guitar and he didn't get mad at you?
I don't think he ever knew about it.
Yeah, Craig has a picture of him jumping off the stage with a pair of roller skates. And I go, what is that? And he goes, yeah, I used to skate around with Neil Sean's guitar. And if I would have fell, it would have ruined it. Oh,
Oh
God.
God, yeah. I used to wear those roller skates all over, do the ends and the outs for roller skates.
How did you skate over chords?
Just jump over them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which kind of skates were they? Were they the inline skates or were they the
No,
old
regular roller skates. They were
regular roller
suede.
skates?
Yeah, suede. Yeah, they were custom skates.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You crazy some bitch. And then she asks, did you, and I know the answer to this because we've talked about it on the podcast before, and I can tell you which one it is, but did you ever get to hear Steve Perry warm up before a show?
Oh my God, yeah. My God, yes. He would go down and when we play in the places that had locker rooms where the teams you were. Yeah, he'd go in the shower rooms with all that where the bathrooms were all tile and stuff and echoed. Oh God, yeah, he'd go in there and go through his scales, where it echoed. Yeah, it was cool. Everybody can sing in the shower, because it echoes. Or they think they can. Well, oh yeah, he'd go in there and go run through scales in the bathrooms. Yeah.
Well, one thing about that guy is there's no question that guy can sing.
Oh my God, yeah, he'd go through the
Yeah.
yeah.
You can't ever say, yeah, Steve Perry, he didn't really sound too good. No, that guy was a fantastic singer.
He's the only singer I ever heard that would warm up,
Yeah.
before a show. He'd run through the scales. He'd run through all the scales. Yeah, he's the only guy I ever worked for that did that.
And then Susan McMaster says, we have 2,300 subscribers. So you guys, whenever I asked you to go subscribe, you guys must have done it.
Yeah, I noticed that we were up over 2,300. Yeah.
Yeah. So thanks to all the subscribers, and being as how that worked out so great, let's do it again and see if we can get more. Because that does go to our monetization, and then we take the money and we give it to the plane crash survivors, which Craig's actually getting ready to.
I think that this year so far we've made like $800 in monetization. We're making about 150 a month, something like that. Sometimes not that much. I don't know.
And
Weird.
some people say we'd make more if Craig didn't talk about fat people, but I argue the fact that a lot of people, they like to come on here just to hear about the fat
Man,
people.
that one guy JJ, he lost 6. I kept saying he said he lost a bunch of money, weight, and he posted a picture of himself before he started losing weight, and now he looks like a totally different person, man. He looks better. My God.
It's like Brian Gibbons, man. He's the same thing.
If people could only do that, be where they're at now and get to where you could be, you would go. That's what he said. He goes, why didn't somebody tell me what the hell I looked like? Why didn't my friends tell me? Man, lose some weight.
Well, that's why in that picture behind you, Ronnie's crossing his legs to hide his New Jersey vagina.
So, that's what I'm doing. That guy, he says, why didn't somebody tell me? That's what I'm doing, you people. I'm telling you, man, lose some weight. Pay attention to that's what you got to do. You got to pay attention to what you eat. And also, if you're trying to lose weight and you can't lose weight, you could have parasites. They say that if you're infested with parasites, that you won't be able to lose weight. So parasites.
Well, people think
everybody has parasites.
Yeah, people think just animals get dogs and they just get parasites.
Everybody has parasites except for me, because I eat a lot of black walnuts, and black walnuts fight them off, and you go, gee, you have brain damage and stuff like that. Yeah, because I tried.
No, Craig, you don't have parasites because you have blood in your THC stream.
No, I eat black walnuts and garlic.
Where do you get those from?
Just at the grocery store. You can just buy them just shelled, black walnuts.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna go get me some.
That's the best thing for parasites. And everybody has them. So, you should just, I told Chad to eat because he's trying to lose some weight. And I told him, black walnuts curb your appetite. And he goes, oh, those things are like eating paste. I like them. I eat them with raisins. So, it moistens them up, Black walnuts and raisins, I eat a handful.
So what happens to I heard if you take a flashlight, like if you get your wife or your girlfriend, which Craig, neither one of us have, and you go get in a dark room and you take a flashlight and shine it on your butthole, the worms will crawl out. Did you ever hear of that? Oh yeah, that's true, man. I heard that. I know somebody out there. Anybody out there heard of that? Put it in the comments because I know I'm not the only. I heard that pinworms. Yeah, that's the pinworms.
Yeah. People out there think this is
Or maybe it's a pin light instead of pinworms. Maybe it's a pin light on your butthole, and I don't know. I got to read. I got to go look that up.
This is a bunch of conspiracy theory stuff, man.
Okay, moving right along. Tim Fawcett, Craig, I saw some comments online about Skynyrd starting a show or stealing the show at a Willie Nelson 1977 picnic. Seems like Skynyrd was blowing out everything. He says, "Were you at that show?"
Yeah, I was there, but
right? What happened?
Well, Willie Nelson's got his own thing, but put Skynyrd in with Willie Nelson. I mean, your shoes don't shuffle around like they do when you're listening to Lynyrd Skynyrd, like you do with Willie. Skynyrd.
Well, were they opening up for Willie, or was Willie opening? Who was opening for?
Skynyrd played. It was seems like it was a 3-day event or something like that, or it was a multiple day from what I remember. And we played like a second day or something like that. It was a Skynyrd picnic. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, there you have it there, Tim Fawcett. Craig was there, and that's the reason why. Because,
I believe it was a multiple day thing, but no, we were stuck in the middle somewhere.
Okay.
Stuck in the middle with you.
David Hester, the only thing about Florida is the humidity. I don't know how you guys stand it there. Yeah, I agree with you, man. That shit sucks, man. Florida and the humidity. And we had a cool snap this morning. I got up and man, that was so nice. It was a nice cool breeze and you went outside and you were like, man, this is the way it's supposed to be. But then now you got all these snowbirds down here causing a bunch of traffic and everything. And then you just get aggravated at the snowbirds because they got to have their cake and eat it too. They got to go up, in the summertime and be cool and come down here in the winter and be warm. You bastards.
When Alan Collins broke up, before I moved back up to Ohio, I moved down to Miami with that fourth wife, Beverly. And I got a job down there selling solar, and I had to wear a suit. And oh my God!
Oh yeah,
wearing a suit in Miami.
No man.
Oh my God!
That's just horrible. And California is like the ideal weather, but you got to be a liberal freaking maniac to live there. So that whole state's just ruined. Nobody wants to live there. They're all moving away. Then Reverend Randall, JoJo said she was going to start with Skynyrd again, but the plane crash happened, and she had a dream about the crash. I saw that interview where she said she had a dream. Did she ever fly on the plane, period?
Yeah. Oh,
she did?
God, yeah. That we had that plane for a year. We didn't just get that plane. We had been flying for quite a while, but we had that other plane. We had that other plane for, I don't remember how long, 3 months or at least 1 or 2 tours. We had that other better plane. And then that L&J Leasing only had those 2 planes, and I guess Aerosmith was negotiating to get a plane, and they didn't want that old plane, so they were going to cut them a deal to use that old plane. But there was nothing wrong with that old plane. Jerry Lewis or one of them old guys, that was their old plane.
Yeah, Jerry Lee Lewis. Yeah,
That was a fine plane. It was an old plane, but you just had to know what you were doing to fly that plane, and they didn't. It's like an old car or something. You just had to know, and they didn't. They didn't know what they were doing. They were inexperienced with that plane. I guess I'm not a pilot, but I guess there's a lot of difference from flying one plane to another plane. The fuel consumption, and you got to be able to calculate all that stuff. I guess.
Yeah.
I guess they were used to flying another type of plane, and they were using the wrong calculations. I don't know. They were just unexperienced, but there was nothing really wrong with that plane. I mean, sure, it was spitting, stuff and doing weird stuff and shooting fire and stuff, but that plane would fly with one engine, and if I don't know why he didn't land on that highway. I mean, it's just none of this makes any sense.
Well, it had those military Wasp engines on it. Those are some killer engines. You don't get a better power plant on a plane than those old planes and those old Wasp engines. But you got to have fuel in the plane.
Yeah. And even if they run out of fuel, they'll coast. But you can't land in trees.
Yeah.
I mean, it sucks.
Donald Johnson says, Craig, I consider us buds. I enjoyed hanging out with you, and I'll come visit again after the election.
Oh, cool. Yeah. Yeah, he's the one that had the jacket.
Yeah, and he came over. He bought that pipe with a serial number 02, and he bought that pipe, which I'm going to start, now that it's cooled off, I'm going to start making some more pipes because it was so freaking hot out there. Just like, just like David Hester said, it was so freaking hot out there. I was sweating my ass off. I was afraid I'd cut my thumb off or sweat my eye. So, I'll get back out there and making some more pipes.
Don Johnson. Yeah, Don Johnson's my friend. Don Johnson from Miami Vice.
Cheesehead says the show was the last podcast was very painful because it had a bunch of Kamala ads in it. Yeah, they must know that, we're dissing her, and they're saying, well, we'll just get back at these bastards.
Well, that interview they did yesterday with her, man, they had
with Brett Baer.
Oh my God, her team that was with her was waving him off. He said, "Well, I hope you got everything you had to say about Donald Trump out of you."
Yeah, he was brutal.
What about Iran, Kamala? Well, Donald Trump.
Yeah.
No, I asked you about Iran, Kamala. I'm speaking.
Yeah.
She's an idiot. Any of you people out there vote for her, you're an idiot too.
Well, there's some people that have to vote for her because if they don't, they lose their job.
Yeah.
I really believe that.
Or their wife,
And if you're in show business, yeah, you'll lose your wife because Donald Trump, is a vagina grabber. And they do not like that, and they would rather be a communist than have a vagina grabbing president. So.
Yeah, they'd rather have Tampon Tim. Yeah, Tampon Tim's got some guy that accusing him of rape or something now.
Oh, really? A guy?
A little boy, yeah, his 14-year-old little boy.
Oh my!
Took that little boy to the baseball game and. Yeah, I had sex with him a few times, and the kid, said,
"This,
I'm not.
This
gay.
is alleged, though, Craig. It's alleged.
Yeah, allegedly.
Alleged. Yeah, it hasn't been proven yet." Then John says, the water was high on the Indian River Drive, the road that caused Gene and Griff to meet. Yeah, my old house that I lived. You remember the house you came and stayed with me at, Craig and Coco?
Yeah,
the
yeah.
river right behind my house, the dock was completely frickin' just removed by that last storm.
Yeah.
Milton. Yeah, that I seem to like get lucky. Like I sold my two cabins up in North Carolina before the flood took them away, and then I just sold my last house before it just wiped the whole dock out. So yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
I
doing
see
good.
where that guy that steals all my film stuff all the time and all my stuff talks shit about me and then steals all my stuff. Yeah, he posted the thing where the rare home movies and
Oh yeah, yeah. That was
yeah.
yeah, that was Jason the Lion that did that video at the Polk Theater, and then yeah, your buddy,
Yeah,
our nemesis.
he redid it and now he's a Skinner archive specialist because he steals my stuff and uses it.
Yeah.
Everything he uses comes from me. It's hilarious. They talk shit about me. He's one of them people that are mentally ill. There's a lot of you out there.
Yeah, and John, that river road that I got hit by that car on and a jogger found me, that whole road was underwater. It's like already low by the river. And yeah, it was flooded. That was the other side of the state. That was on the East Coast. I live close to the West Coast now, but I moved more into the center of the state because of the hurricanes, because I'm sick and tired of the hurricanes. But I don't know where I can live where there's not some danger. So thinking about getting a houseboat and just living in the freaking middle of the lake. That way, if it floods, I'll just go up with the water, you know.
I
And
feel
then if
pretty
we
safe where I'm at here in Ohio. We
and
get
if
a
we run out of
tornado.
food, I can just catch a fish and don't have to worry about it having.
I
Well,
got deer in my backyard. I got all kinds.
yeah.
Yeah, I got all kinds. I got rabbits and pheasants and deer.
And Brian Gibbons, did Leon shoot his blank pistol at an angry Black Sabbath audience?
Yeah,
Craig,
he
is
did.
it true?
It wasn't the audience. It was one guy right in the front.
Oh yeah.
kept, yeah, he kept hassling. Yeah, he was a Black Sabbath nut. He kept yelling, just yelling stuff, you know. And after the show, after they were done, Leon pulled that blank pistol out, walked right up to the guy right in his face. Bah, 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 about 6 times. The guy shit his freaking pants.
Really?
Oh yeah, the guy thought Leon shot him.
Which show was that? Where was that
I've
at?
talked about that before. I think it was somewhere in Pennsylvania, I believe, Buffalo, New
Yeah.
York, or Pennsylvania, or somewhere up in there, somewhere up in that area, in that north, Pennsylvania, New York area, somewhere up there. I believe that's where it was. Yeah, yeah, I remember that. That was funny.
Yeah, that's something that, you know, if somebody ever pulls a gun on you, that yeah, I've had a gun pulled on me and I've pulled
Oh,
a gun on people,
Ronnie
so
took that pistol away from him.
he
I think.
did.
Yeah, he kept shooting at some bitch. Ronnie took it from him. I think that I remember Ronnie took his pistol from him.
Yeah, because he might have pulled an Alec Baldwin accidentally and frickin' put a live round
No,
in
it
there.
wouldn't shoot anything but blanks. It was just a
Yeah.
22 blank pistol, but yeah, it wouldn't shoot nothing.
You wouldn't be able to get away with that these days because of these
No,
frickin'
no.
bleeding heart bastards.
I got to remember to keep this microphone up here. Hardly ever watch these things back, but I was watching it, like the last one we did. For some reason I was watching it and I couldn't hear myself, and I'm going, man, you got to pull that microphone up in front of you.
Well, that's probably because when you lower yourself down to smoke weed, you don't take your microphone with you.
No, the camera moves. The microphone stays right there. But I move it out of the way so when I take a hit, I'm not making a lot of noise. But I just got to remember to put it in front of me when I talk.
Um, Patricia Lynn says the Masonic Lodge is not satanic. It's a group of people that get together to support men and families. My daddy was a Mason and he was the salt of the earth. I knew a lot of Masons that were really good people. They call them ring knockers. And the deal is if you're a ring knocker, and because a lot of those
Well,
Masons,
those are Shriners, aren't they?
yeah, the Shriners,
yeah.
they help these children and stuff like that. So if you get pulled over by a cop and you've got that whole medallion thing going on in your back windshield, then they call them ring knockers because they just bump each other's ring and go, "I got you, man," and they let you go without writing you a ticket. But the old school Masons, like back in the old country, they were all the satanic guys. So that's where they got that from. I'm sure your dad was a salt of the earth, Patricia Lynn, and there are some really good Mason people because I know them. I work with them before, and they volunteered. There was one guy, he did volunteer for the Shriners, and he had this like a go-kart, and he would ride it around, and he always rode it in and did a left circle, and he wore out his left wheels, the tread on his left wheel, and I would go down and get him a new wheel about every 6 months because he wore the wheel out. But they wore those goofy looking hats, those real tall hats with the tassel hanging. So yeah, you're right, Patricia Lynn. Not all of them are satanic. Then John Morrow, Craig, you said you had clothes from Ronnie and Steve and others that the family didn't want that were on the plane. What did you do with all of them?
Sold a lot of that stuff, yeah.
Yeah.
Man, I don't have anything left of no clothes anymore. I had some vests, some Steve's vests, and God, I don't remember what all now.
You had some Steve's pants too, didn't you?
Yeah, those suits. Yeah, those that burgundy suit. I had that whole suit, and then there was another blue jacket I had. All that, yeah, stuff that was on the plane. Stuff that they would keep stuff on the plane in case they did some kind of a thing where they had to do a photo thing or something. They kept some nice clothes.
Yeah.
You know.
And Dean, he was kind of their wardrobe guy, right? He picked all the clothes out.
So yeah, they had. Steve loved that burgundy jacket, them burgundy pants, that burgundy jacket. Yeah.
Craig, did he take the guys to the mall and
No, Dean kind of shopped for him, I think.
I know, but how did he know their size and everything?
Knew their size.
He just guessed.
Yeah, Dean was a fashion guy, man. His parents, he was kind of a classy guy. His parents owned a dry cleaner and stuff. He was all into clothes,
Is he the guy who got Gary that shirt, that flowery shirt that he all a long sleeve?
I can't say for sure, but yeah, Dean did a lot of the wardrobe. Dean did a lot of the wardrobe stuff.
Yeah.
He did their laundry and did all that stuff.
And then Angela Lynyrd, Craig, she says her cancer doctor knows she smokes pot. It makes her hungry and it helps her keep her weight on. She says, I love cake and ice cream too. So she gets the munchies, Craig.
I don't know. I never did.
Angela Lynyrd, she's one of our big contributors and she's a real cool lady. Yeah, and we're sorry that you're dealing with that cancer, Angela, and God bless you. You just smoke as much weed as you want and you just eat and eat and eat all the cake and ice cream that you can hold.
Yep.
Because, that's what makes you happy.
Whatever you want to do.
Just make sure it doesn't have high fructose corn syrup in it.
I swear everything's got that shit in it, man. I tried to buy freaking relish. Can't even buy relish that don't have that shit in it, man.
Yeah, you got to look at the labels because it's everything's bioengineered. It's all bioengineered now.
God, I can't. I read the labels. I put stuff down, and it's all got it. You can't find nothing that don't have it in it. And it's
Yeah,
like until I can to get people to start eating healthy and quit buying this shit, they're gonna have to make better shit. But yeah, it's getting hard for me to shop, man. All that shit, it's got all that shit in it, and all you people just buy the Soylent Green.
Well, that's what the parasites like to eat. They like to eat. That's what the parasites like is the high fructose corn syrup and all the bioengineered stuff. So, Chad says, according to Ed King, they were on the bus and someone yelled out the N word, and the door opened and Ronnie was standing by the door and they drug him out and beat the hell out of him and nobody would help him.
I heard Alan ran off the bus and got popped once and ran back in the bus. And I don't know. I wasn't there. So
yeah, well, that's what I remember Ed telling that story. I saw that interview.
I wasn't there. So like I said, me and Dean weren't there. So I can't tell you what happened. All I heard Alan ran off the bus and got popped and ran back in the bus.
Yeah, and then Ronnie had those.
There was a bunch of them out
Shynyrds.
there. And I mean, I'm glad I wasn't there. I'd have been right out there with him.
Who was the band manager at the time?
Oh God, let me see. Who would that have been? Henny Emmerich?
I'll have to ask Leslie.
Emmerich?
Was Leslie there?
No,
she wasn't there yet.
This was
early
75.
Yeah, that's right. Because she wasn't there. Was she there when Ed was? She wasn't there when Ed was there, was she?
Mm-mm.
Yeah, that's right.
No, this was 1975, man.
Yeah, that was early.
This is when Patricia Hearst robbed that freaking bank. And me and Dean were in the restaurant eating, and the FBI came in and asked if we'd seen her, that she was there or something.
Is there anybody that was on that bus stand that that we could talk to that would tell us that story? That you can remember?
Everybody's dead.
Everybody, huh?
Everybody's dead, yeah. Everybody's dead. That would have been
What about was Joe Barnes on there?
No.
No? Who was the roadies?
I don't think Joe was with them. Joe didn't go out and party with them very much. Joe or Kevin didn't really.
Yeah, but what were they on the bus for and you weren't on the bus? Why were they on the bus and you weren't
They
on the
went to
bus?
that club. That's the whole reason they went. They went out to a club. They went out and to have a good time. They went to some club, and then they were in the parking lot, and got the shit beat out of them. Yeah.
And then Steve Jones was telling the story that his theory about 600 miles to ride to do one more show, and he said that I was trying to tell Craig about that, and Craig had it all mixed up with the Boise and Idaho thing, and
I got it mixed up with he's got he's 600 miles to go do one more show, and it was actually 623 miles, and I said, well, 623 miles would be a long.
Well, his point
complicated to say in a song, so he just made it 600 miles. Like Boise, Idaho didn't really happen in Boise, Idaho. I just got it confused. I got brain damage, man.
Well, that's right. When the internet
and I'm
started,
stoned. I smoked this good weed, and I'm stoned, and I got brain damage. And I'm partially mentally ill too, but I just don't have the mental illness that would make me comfortable with being freaking fat or obese, you know?
Well,
It made me, I felt hideous when I was fat or obese, but
that's when
that's just me.
my internet started going out when I was reading that question. So what his point is that that is the distance from the last gig to Gillsburg. If you round it up, round
Yeah.
it down, it's 600 miles to ride to do one more show. Oh no. And that's
Oh
what he's
no.
saying. Ronnie was a prophet.
Yeah.
Dude.
I think we come to that deduction on the last
Yeah, we
podcast,
did.
as I recall.
Well, he just wanted to
But I
let you
got brain
know.
damage, so I'm not sure about.
No, he was wanted to let you know that you had too much blood in your THC stream or your
Oh,
TCH stream.
I never have too much blood in my THC. And
And easy, Mons, I am fat. They took away my thyroid when I was 14. Life has never been normal since. Let me tell you something about that thyroid thing, man. That's some real shit when it comes to you got to have a thyroid, and yeah, man, you do whatever you got to do there, Easy Mons. If you don't have a thyroid, don't you worry about it, buddy. You just enjoy whatever. Don't worry what Craig says. You just go out and do whatever you got to do, because life's too short if you ain't got a thyroid,
hey,
man.
some people do have physical issues that
Yeah.
cause them from not being able to lose weight. Like if you got parasites, and I mean, people just don't know they got parasites, and you're going, I just can't lose weight. But yeah, some people, 1 out of 100 people that say they have a thyroid problem actually has a thyroid problem, and is obese, from not eating food or whatever. But most of the time, obesity comes from overeating. I'm sorry.
Well, some people have that disease where their arm goes like this a lot and they can't stop. It just
Yeah,
it keeps going to their mouth, their hand to their mouth, and it.
You cannot make a whole bunch of food unless fat, unless you put food in there in your mouth to make the fat. You can't do it. It's not even common sense. So anybody that wants to say you can make something out of nothing, I don't know what to tell you.
Well, Craig, what about the theory that people are so depressed that Kamala might become the president that they just got to go eat some shrimp and some freaking, sauce? I mean, I find myself, if I watch, Kamala do a freaking interview or something, I want to go get some damn a Coke and a candy
Well, it's
bar.
mostly women that are fat. I mean, I don't know why women are so depressed. I mean, I do know that women are depressed because they're overweight, but then they eat because they're depressed and they're overweight, and that kind of symptoms like that means you're freaking mentally ill, man.
So it's
If
like
you're
it's a self-eating watermelon.
it's a sickness. I mean, obesity is a disease, and if you want to, I mean, it's a curable disease. But if you want to go, if you don't want
Well,
to,
Craig, remember when we were in school, there was
it's a
always
preventable disease,
when
and
we
it's
were in
curable.
school, there was like one fat guy in school. Now there's one
Yeah, now
skinny guy
everybody's
in
fat.
school.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ha ha ha. Look at that skinny guy over there.
Everybody's fat. It's ridiculous, and it has to be there. Everybody's in this world is sick. There has to be some kind of a uh, uh, um, what's that word I'm looking for? That similarity between obesity and mental illness. There has to be something similar to thing. That's
Well, there has to be something to be said for consistency, because ever since I met you, Craig, you have not let up on the fat shit. You have it's, if anything I could say consistency with Craig is he is a fat bashing bastard. He will.
because I was obese and I disgusted myself, and I'm trying to, like my friend JJ, he lost 80 pounds and he's going, I don't know why people let me get like that. I'm just another person. He goes, I wish somebody would have told me. Well, I'm telling you, I'm telling you, and 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 telling you. You know, I'm sorry that I'm a little rougher telling you than most people are, but you know.
Well, what about the proof is in the pudding, you know, when you go from a pair of 32s to a pair of 40s, then, you know, something's going on there. So
I was up almost to a 38, and yeah, there I am. Oh, let me
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, you know, it looks like, you know, you do look like you're uncomfortable, but you're happy. See how happy you were?
I
See
was
how
drunk.
you were happy, man. And now you're, you know, you're sad because you're skinny.
Well,
You were
I've always
happy.
been happy. I don't know how you could be so happy with a head so nappy, but no, I haven't changed. You know, I haven't changed. I was just fat. You
I
know,
still
I'm
say
still
that
the same person. I was just
Craig said
fat.
that he noticed he was fat and he decided to quit eating. Well, what really
Seeing that
happened?
picture, no, it was that picture right there. I
No,
went,
what
holy
really
shit.
happened was he got divorced. And when you get divorced, the freaking pounds just shed. It's like the best diet in the world. It's called the I don't want to lose my 401k diet. And you just sweat that shit off. And you don't have time to eat because you're trying to figure out what you're going to do next. Yeah, that's
I
what's
think
going
that
on
was
there.
2000. I think that was 2013. I think.
Yeah, you got divorced right then, huh?
Pretty much after that, yeah. Yeah, this is 2012 or 2013. I got divorced in 2015.
Well, but you're doing good keeping it off, you know. I mean, you might be throwing up and not telling us. Brian Matterson. Griff, have you seen Ed King with Unknown Hinson? If not, you have to see that. Yeah, man. I love Unknown Hinson. As a matter of fact, I'm friends with him on Facebook, and his wife will talk to me, and she's a pretty little thing. Young, like his daughter's age, probably. But if you know, he probably don't have a daughter, but she could be his daughter. But she's a real nice girl, real nice lady, and she always answers me because I tried to get him to come on the podcast, and he's actually had, from what I understand, a couple strokes. And I don't know if he can, man, that guy can play a guitar. And he cracks about rock and roll. He calls it, anybody can play that mess. You know, country's the best music. Yeah, he could play rock and roll and country, but Unknown Hinson, if no one's ever, if you guys haven't seen Unknown Hinson, you need to go look him up. That's that rockabilly, and he's got these fake sideburns and these weird eyebrows, and yeah, he's got a whole act going, but he's hilarious. He is, and his songs. His songs are about his old lady in the trailer, and yeah, matter of fact, I'm gonna have to go watch some more of him because he cracks me up. Triple R, Triple T. Ronnie said, "Oak tree, you're in my way," and the plane was stopped by an oak tree. Well, I don't know if it was an oak tree, but it was definitely a tree, a hardwood. It was a big old tree because I remember, I think Dwayne told me, there was a big tree at the front of up there by the front of the plane that, everything was going good until it hit that. It might have even made it to that clearing. if it wouldn't have hit that big old tree.
Could have been that tree that killed him. I don't know.
You could have been, yeah. So oak tree, you're in my way. 600 more miles to go to do one more show. Oh no.
Could have been
Yeah.
a premonition. I don't know.
Could be.
That's a conspiracy theory in the making right there.
Yeah, it is. Then we got one more question by Carol the Cake Girl. Folks who complain about fat talk and conspiracy theories, don't watch it if you don't like it. You can't always talk about Skynyrd, and you can't always have guests on. You have to talk about other things. Yeah. So that's why, and I mean, there probably are other things to talk about, but Craig likes to dominate.
Craig likes to talk about fat folks and cigarette smokers too. So if you're fat and you like to smoke, he might poke a little fun at you.
Craig likes to tell it like it is, and it's something that you ought to know. If your feelings get hurt real easy, you better not watch the show.
Yeah, Craig talks about fat folks and cigarette smokers too. So if you're fat and like to smoke, he might poke a little fun at you. Yeah, Craig likes to tell it like it is, so it's something that you want to know. If your feelings get hurt real easy, you better not watch the show. If your feelings get hurt real easy, you better not watch the show.